Now we're going to go over some of the properties of exponential functions. Okay, so the first thing you should know is that they're continuous one-to-one functions. So remember, continuous means that they don't have any holes or gaps or jumps. They're not going to have any vertical asymptotes. On their whole domain, which is actually negative infinity to infinity, you could draw it without picking up your pencil. Okay. Then we said that they're one-to-one. So remember, we just learned in the last section that one-to-one means that every x has a different output, a different y value. It passes the horizontal line test, okay? And that will also mean that we'll have an inverse, and we'll learn all about their inverses. Its domain is negative infinity to infinity, so this shouldn't be surprising. You can put any number in an exponent and evaluate it. Its range is from 0 to infinity, meaning you can't take a positive number to an exponent and get out a negative number. And you actually never get out 0 either. Okay, when our a is positive, so like when we saw, so for example, when we had 2 to the x, it's going to be increasing. It's going to be going up from left to right. And if your value is between 0 and 1, so 1/2 to the x, then you're going to be decreasing. It will be going down. It always has a horizontal asymptote. That's the x-axis. Okay, so it's always got a horizontal asymptote, y equals 0. And its x-intercept is always 0, 1, unless you've done a transformation. So if you have, a to the x, then we're saying, if that's f of x, we're saying f of 0, which would be a number to 0, well, that's always equal to 1. So you always have that intercept 0, 1. Okay, now we've learned about all the transformations back in Unit 2, and we just kind of want to refresh those. We want to use our knowledge of transformations to describe how the original graph, so here's our graph of 2 to the x, will change. So number 1, we have y equals 2 to the x minus 3. We're subtracting 3 from the end. Remember, doing something outside the x, that's going to do something vertical. And subtracting here means it's going to shift down 3 units. Okay, what if we have y equals 2 to the x plus 1? So we're adding 1 to the end. That's going to shift it up 1 unit. Okay, now we're doing stuff up inside where the x is, up in parentheses. These are still exponents. This is 2 to the x minus 3 as an exponent. This is 2 to the x plus 1. So remember, when we're adding or subtracting inside those parentheses, we're shifting horizontally. And these seem a little backwards. When we're subtracting, we're moving right. So this is shifting right 3 units. And when we're adding, we're shifting left. So this is going to shift left 3 units. Oops, sorry, 1 unit. Okay, so we're not going to go over them here, but everything about reflecting or stretching or shrinking or compressing, all of those rules that you learned in Unit 2 also apply here with exponential functions.